Top 25 App Support Interview Questions and Answers. App support roles are important because businesses depend on smooth, reliable, and secure software systems every day. Interviewers usually test your technical knowledge, troubleshooting skills, communication ability, and understanding of customer service. You may be asked about incident handling, ticketing tools, databases, logs, APIs, user support, and escalation processes. These app support interview questions and answers will help you prepare strong, professional responses. Use them to show that you can solve problems quickly, support users confidently, and keep applications running with minimal disruption, even during busy and high-pressure business environments. 1. What is app support? App support is the process of helping users and businesses keep software applications working correctly. It includes troubleshooting errors, answering user questions, monitoring application performance, investigating incidents, escalating complex issues, and coordinating with development or infrastructure teams. The main goal is to reduce downtime and make sure users can complete their work smoothly. A good app support professional combines technical knowledge, patience, communication skills, and problem-solving ability every single day. 2. How do you troubleshoot an application issue? I usually start by understanding the exact problem from the user, including screenshots, error messages, steps taken, and business impact. Then I check whether the issue is user-specific, system-wide, or related to data, access, network, or recent changes. I review logs, reproduce the issue if possible, and apply known fixes. If needed, I escalate with clear notes, priority level, and evidence for faster resolution and reduce unnecessary back-and-forth support delays. 3. How do you prioritize support tickets? I prioritize support tickets based on urgency, business impact, affected users, and service level agreements. A production outage or issue affecting many users comes first, especially if it blocks revenue or critical operations. I also consider VIP users, deadlines, and security risks. For lower priority tickets, I provide realistic updates. Clear prioritization helps the support team solve important problems quickly while still maintaining good communication with all users during operations. 4. What is your experience with ticketing tools? I have experience using ticketing systems to record, track, update, and close support requests in an organized way. A good ticket should include the user's issue, error details, troubleshooting steps, screenshots, priority, category, and final resolution. Ticketing tools also help measure response times, identify repeated problems, and maintain accountability. I believe every ticket should be clear enough that another team member can understand its full history quickly without extra confusion. 5. What would you do if an application goes down? When an application goes down, I first confirm the outage and check whether it affects one user, a department, or everyone. I review monitoring alerts, server status, logs, network connectivity, database availability, and recent deployments. I communicate quickly with stakeholders and follow the incident process. My focus is restoring service first, then documenting the root cause, timeline, actions taken, and prevention steps after recovery to improve future response and stability. 6. How do you use logs in application support? Logs are one of the most useful tools for troubleshooting application issues because they show what happened behind the scenes. I check timestamps, error codes, stack traces, failed requests, user IDs, and system events around the reported time. I compare logs with user actions and recent changes. By reading logs carefully, I can identify whether the problem is caused by code, configuration, database, integration, permission, or infrastructure issues much faster. 7. How would you handle a user login issue? If a user cannot log in, I first check whether the username, password, and account status are correct. Then I verify if the account is locked, expired, disabled, or missing required permissions. I also check authentication systems, single sign-on, browser cache, network access, and recent password changes. If many users are affected, I treat it as a possible authentication outage and escalate immediately to protect access and reduce business impact. 8. What is the difference between a bug, incident, and service request? A bug is a defect in the application where the software does not behave as expected, even when the user follows the correct process. An incident is an unplanned interruption or reduction in service, such as an outage or failed function. A service request is a standard user request, like access, password reset, or report change. Understanding the difference helps classify tickets correctly and route them to the right process. 9. Why is communication important in app support? Communication is very important in app support because users often contact support when they are frustrated or blocked. I explain technical issues in simple language, ask clear questions, and provide regular updates. I avoid blaming users or other teams. Good communication builds trust, reduces confusion, and helps manage expectations. Even when the issue takes time, users feel more confident when they know someone is actively working on it during resolution. 10. How do you stay calm during a critical incident? I stay calm by focusing on facts, impact, and next steps instead of pressure. During critical incidents, I follow the incident process, gather evidence, involve the right teams, and communicate updates clearly. I avoid guessing and concentrate on restoring service as quickly as possible. After the issue is resolved, I review what happened and learn from it. Staying calm helps make better decisions under pressure and protects overall service quality. 11. What is your knowledge of SQL and app support? I use SQL to check and investigate application data when troubleshooting issues. For example, I may verify whether a record exists, compare user permissions, check transaction status, or identify missing or incorrect data. I understand basic select, where, join, order by, and count queries. I am careful with production databases and avoid making changes unless approved. SQL helps support teams validate problems quickly and accurately during real production support investigations. 12. How do you escalate an issue to another team? If an issue cannot be solved at first-level support, I escalate it with complete and organized information. I include the user impact, priority, affected module, exact error, steps to reproduce, screenshots, logs, environment details, and troubleshooting already completed. This saves time for developers or infrastructure teams. I also continue updating the user and tracking progress until the issue is resolved or handed over properly and prevents unnecessary repeated investigation. 13. What is root cause analysis? Root cause analysis is the process of finding the real reason an issue happened, not just fixing the visible symptom. It usually includes reviewing timelines, logs, system changes, user actions, failed components, and business impact. The purpose is to prevent the same issue from happening again. A strong root cause analysis includes what happened, why it happened, how it was fixed, and what preventative action is needed for future stability. 14. How do you handle angry or frustrated users? I handle angry users by listening carefully, staying polite, and acknowledging their frustration. I do not interrupt or argue, even if the problem was caused by user error. I ask focused questions, explain what I am checking, and give realistic expectations. If the issue is urgent, I prioritize it properly. Professional behavior can turn a difficult conversation into a productive one and protect the company's reputation during stressful support situations. 15. What does SLA mean in application support? SLA means Service Level Agreement. It defines the expected response and resolution time for support tickets based on priority and impact. For example, a critical production issue may need immediate response, while a minor request may have a longer deadline. SLAs help support teams manage workload, measure performance, and set clear expectations with users. Meeting SLAs is important for customer satisfaction and service quality across internal and external support teams. 16. Why is application monitoring important? Application monitoring helps detect problems before users report them. Monitoring tools can track uptime, response time, server health, memory usage, CPU usage, error rates, database performance, and failed transactions. Alerts allow support teams to respond quickly when something goes wrong. Good monitoring reduces downtime and improves reliability. It also provides useful data for identifying patterns, capacity issues, and recurring application problems over time before they become serious, high-impact business incidents. 17. How do you handle repeated application issues? If the same issue keeps happening, I do not only apply the same temporary fix again and again, I collect examples, check logs, identify patterns, and review whether the problem is related to code, configuration, data, performance, or user behavior. Then I raise it for root cause analysis or problem management. Repeated issues should be documented properly so permanent fixes can be planned and implemented instead of short-term workarounds only. 18. How do you document a solution? I document solutions by writing clear steps that explain the issue, cause, troubleshooting process, and final fix. I include screenshots, commands, queries, error messages, and any important warnings if needed. Good documentation helps other support agents solve similar issues faster and creates a knowledge base for future reference. It also reduces dependency on one person and improves consistency across the entire support team during busy daily shifts or staff handovers. 19. What is a change request? A change request is a formal request to modify an application, system configuration, workflow, report, permission, or business rule. In app support, change requests should be reviewed carefully because even small changes can affect users, data, or integrations. I believe changes should follow approval, testing, deployment, and rollback processes. Proper change management reduces risk and prevents unexpected production issues after updates are released and keeps the application stable for users. 20. What causes application performance issues? Application performance issues can happen because of slow database queries, high server load, memory problems, network delays, large data volumes, inefficient code, or third-party integration delays. I usually check response times, logs, monitoring dashboards, database activity, and recent changes. I also ask users when the slowness started and which actions are affected. Performance troubleshooting requires both technical investigation and clear communication with users before the issue affects more business departments. 21. How do you support application deployments? I support application deployments by checking release notes, understanding new features, reviewing known risks, and preparing for possible user issues. After deployment, I monitor logs, alerts, user reports, and application behavior. If something fails, I help confirm the issue, collect evidence, and support rollback or hotfix decisions. A support team plays an important role in making deployments safer and reducing business disruption when new changes go live in production successfully. 22. What would you do if you made a mistake? If I make a mistake, I admit it quickly, inform the right person, and focus on correcting it. I do not hide mistakes because delays can make the impact worse. I document what happened, what action was taken, and how it can be prevented next time. In app support, honesty and accountability are very important because users and teams depend on accurate information and reliable service during production support work. 23. What is user access management? User access management means creating, modifying, reviewing, or removing user permissions within an application. It is important because users should have the correct access needed for their job, but not more than necessary. I follow approval processes before granting access and verify user roles carefully. Proper access management protects sensitive data, supports compliance, and reduces security risks caused by incorrect or excessive permissions, especially in applications with confidential business information. 24. Why should we hire you for this app support role? I would be a good fit for app support because I enjoy solving problems, helping users, and working with technical systems. I can investigate issues carefully, communicate clearly, and stay calm during pressure. I understand the importance of documentation, teamwork, prioritization, and service quality. I am also willing to learn new tools, applications, and processes so I can support users and business operations effectively in a professional and dependable way. 25. What will you do in your first month as an app support analyst? In my first month, I would focus on understanding the application, business processes, support workflow, common issues, ticketing system, escalation paths, and team expectations. I would study documentation, observe experienced team members, and ask practical questions. I would also learn monitoring tools, user roles, and important reports. My goal would be to become productive quickly while avoiding careless mistakes and building trust with users and colleagues in the new role. Preparing for an app support interview is easier when you understand both technical troubleshooting and professional user support. Employers want candidates who can investigate issues, communicate clearly, manage priorities, document solutions, and work well with developers, infrastructure teams, and business users. These questions and answers give you a strong foundation for common interview situations. Practice them in your own words and add real examples from your experience. With confidence, patience, and structured problem-solving, you can show that you are ready for an app support role in any modern business organization.